by praying, we make our intention clear. Because there are thousands and millions of types of different meditations. And in our strange times, they are being even sold and resold. But all meditation techniques, they have to follow one simple guideline. And that guideline is to make us into a better person. So if we meditate and we feel relaxed, and then we go back to whoever or whatever version that we were before, then it's just a relaxation exercise. It doesn't really help us. Because our job is to be evolved with the meditation. And I'm going to talk about my last meditation, which I almost never do. But last Saturday, the meditation that we did really went wrong at almost all the levels that you can imagine. And it was a surprise, but not such a big surprise for me, because when you are conducting meditation, etc., the intention is that you communicate and you achieve with the group, with your meditation group, because this is a group of like-minded people, you achieve a group evolution and all of us change. But these changes are not, it's not necessary that the meditation should be ideal, because ideal thing is a standard that is fake and that is in our mind. Anything which we consider to be ideal is from a standard that we have brought into this world. In reality, whatever we cannot change, especially parts of our lives that we cannot change, our parents, our relationships, our body, etc., is exactly the way it should be. Anything that we cannot control and change, and also the things we cannot change is also everything in the past. So whatever is happening and whatever has happened and we cannot change it, we have to accept it. So last week, the meditations went wrong at all levels. I was coming back on last Friday. I had been in Montreal to help someone who had oncological issues, had called. So when such a call goes through, then we cannot question anything. Like, all of you are going to be gurus and teachers in your own right. So when someone asks for help, you cannot say no. So I was coming back from Montreal, and this lady who was there, a year ago, the group had prayed for her. She had got well. But this year again, she had some changes and she got stressed. And once the stress was there, then again her white blood cells, etc., which was a problem of immunity in the body, they went down, and she was again. So I again went and we prayed, and hopefully by the end of this month, which is in the next week, she will be getting the results. Or she should be better, and she's going through a chemo, and we are all praying for her. So I was coming back on Friday. I went, and Saturday I was coming back, and suddenly I got a call. And sometimes we do this, not very often, that someone say, "Oh, my friend needs help, and she's a lady, and she's my new girlfriend, and she needs help desperately, and the lady is willing to talk and meet with you." And I talked with her on the phone, and she was very open. Yes, I have problems, and I have been taking coke when I was 20, etc. And this was when I was talking about her past. She says, yes, and this. So I said, okay, on the way back, you're in Toronto, I'm coming back to Toronto, I'll visit you. If it's that bad, I'll visit you. So on the way back, before going to my own home, I visited her, and she lives in a very good apartment. It's a brand new apartment, very spacious, but it was stinking like hell. And I had to tell her, because her main issue was that she was saying, I know I suffer from alcoholism, but I can take care of it. And she was crying a lot because her child had been given over by the court to her father. So the first thing that I told her, that, do you really want your child to be with you? She will your child will see you and then copycat your behavior. Why would you wish upon that, upon your child, if you are, since you are at whatever level you do love your child? So she got pacified about that to some extent. But the whole apartment was really, really having a very bad smell. And I'm going to tell you why. And at first, I have never been into meditation, but you can conduct it from here. I said, okay, I'll be having a group meditation if you're over out here. Well and good. I said, I'll give you the internet, the code and key and everything, the password. And then when I started off, she said, no, she's not going to be contributing. She's not, but she's going to be there staying. I said, okay. Now, the moment I said the holy prayers with which we start the meditation, three things happened. One, usually when I was doing like Om Namah Shiva or something, we start falling into a different vibrational level, because everything is energy. Everything that is energy means that everything is a vibration up and down with different polarities. Different polarities means that when we think our life is good or bad, but it is the same life vibrating to something that we consider good and then going to a different level. So if we start saying bad or good or judgment calls, then we are not seeing that each stage of good and bad is continually changing. But when we see the common element, that if we get angry at the bad things, then what is it that we are getting angry at? We are getting angry at the energy of our life, which is us. So anytime that we get angry, we are not seeing that everything is changing, that whatever is good is going to end up with bad, bad is going to end up with good. So that's why our core of meditation is that we stop making these judgment calls that have become heavy thoughts in our heart. I want to avoid this, I want to have more of this, and these heaviness in the heart then becomes our addictions, etc., because it becomes, I want to have this more, I want to avoid this more, and they become like our fears and our anger. Why does someone have it? Why doesn't? All those starting from our judgment of a polarity of a vibration going from one extreme to another, which is the nature of energy, and everything is energy. So when we say Om Namah Shivaya, etc., in the starting, we are changing our frequency of the vibration. So we are getting to a higher level of thinking, changing our own frequency to be more in alignment with the love of God. That is who we are. Because if you have everything on the planet, and your meditation gives you everything, money and whatever, most people are think that money is happiness and ask for it subconsciously or consciously. But if you do not have love, you have nothing. And this person did not have love, but she was very, she would be having mood swings even while we were talking. She would, yes, and when I drink, then I'm everywhere on all the social networks. I'm there. I just invite random people in and all that. And she was being very open at times. And you don't judge for that. So I also have two daughters. So I'm also like very, very careful about even making subconscious judgment calls, because everyone is your daughter at a certain age. But there is a but there. Now the thing is that when I started the meditation, her eyes and everything, her tone changed. And I couldn't share this during the meditation, but I could actually see that her drinking had opened, just like people who are on drugs, etc., and say, we are happy, happy, happy. Her drinking had opened somehow her barriers of her natural protection of her body, the energy of her body, so that she was consumed by things which were not hers originally. What I would say is that it was like being consumed by or being possessed by these drinking devils, I would say. She had opened herself and you could see the change in the eyes and all that. And she started saying that God is not there and this and that, and you guys are all stupid and all sorts of stuff. And then she would calm down during the meditation. So I had to wrap up the meditation, and I said, like, on top of it all, she has a very good job. So she's well supported. Her house is new. But she has got this huge, she lives in a very, it is a special stink. And I couldn't really understand it, but now I get it. And there was also a lot of, she asked me, oh, is there so many? There are lots of sex toys also, which is okay. But the point was that this was a pure place of person who was lost and was possessed by low vibration. It wasn't like in the Exorcist movie that something horrible was going on, but horrible in a subtle manner, maybe as horrible, not as visually and as graphically, but it was horrible that someone could be, someone's personality and life and energy could be decomposed and degraded to that level. And she was, at times she would be saying, no, I can beat this on my own. I can. And I told her I wrapped up the meditation very fast. And I didn't even, I wasn't, because I was using my cell phone, because she had said no to the internet. I had to use my cell phone connectivity. So I didn't even properly log off, and people couldn't understand what's happening, and they were posting up messages. But I saw, and I told the lady, look, prayers are not going to help you. Especially my prayers are not going to help you, because you're not into it. You don't really believe, etc. Even at a personality level, not when you're really consumed by your desire for wine and other things. But we will pray so that you get the expert help of going to a rehab. She has enough money to pay for a new apartment, which is like at least 700,000 or something. At least. The view from the balcony out there was beautiful, and it's in a good place in Toronto. But you wouldn't want to be there. Money, we have an inherent feeling that money is happiness, etc. No, it is a fake. Money gives us the comfort, and then whether in that comfort we are miserable or we are in harmony, it's up to us. North Americans have got 10 times more human rights than in other places. 80% of the resources of planet are shared by the people in North America, etc. But people over out here are not 10 times more happier, nor in harmony, because all these abundance of thingies, it's not happiness. It's maybe it is comfort, and that also physical comfort of senses. It is not happiness. If physical comfort of senses was being happy, then the people who have so much amount of money, they won't be on antidepressant, and they won't be taking lines. Cocaine is like $100, it seems, a line. So some comedian was saying that it means that you are doing well, etc. But they are meaning suicide. Means taking drugs means that you are saying, I cannot face my life as it is. I want to change my perception. And then you see hallucinations, and you may be happy, you may be sad, but you are addicted to running away from who you are. And that's a suicide. That's what the suicide is. So if money, etc., was such a big deal, then why would these people who are supposed to be happy with so much amount of comfort be taking drugs or be on antidepressants and all that? It does not. So there are lots of figures showing that money is really just a means of surviving on this planet, but it's not the key indicator of happiness. Not by, because we think, oh, kings and queens, they were happy. Kings had like food tasters, someone who would be spitting on their food. And they lived in paranoia. I've been all over Europe, and those castles that you see, they're very cold and uncomfortable. And they were basically out there to isolate the king, because the king would be feeling paranoid that my near and dear ones can be killing me, etc. And he had all sorts of safeguards against that. But he was afraid and isolated. So that's the worst sort of punishment that you, and there are lots of kings, etc., who have wrote their biographies, etc., including Marcus Aurelius, etc., and they write about the miserableness of being alone. We don't have people that they could relate to. King Louis XV, who was living under the shadow of his father, the Sun King, Actually, we used to have a farmer's place which he bought, and where he would go secretly and pretend that he was a farmer, that he was not a king. So that was the only way that he could relax, and that was supposed to be the king's secret that only a few of his royal friends knew. That he would pretend out and he had a very simple farmers, like in the Europe in those times, in France, it was okay if you have an affair, but it should be with someone of your own class and gentry. And he had a simple farmer's life with a lover from the peasantry. So that was his secret that he used to safeguard. The point is that he was not happy being a king, and so were very few. There are very few kings who are able to enjoy, because they always had this paranoia that they can be killed, they can be replaced. So a lot of things, all that money does not make for happiness, and neither in this case. The lady has even now a very good job and all that. She works in an industry in which I also work in a tangent. So I was surprised that she has got the intellect to be managing a job like that. It's a complex IT job, but no happiness, no harmony, totally alcohol dependency, and then all the rest that follows. And if that's what happens, but it changes also, and especially for a mother, when you are supposed to be setting up if you are above 40, you do whatever you want with your life, not a big deal. But if their children are involved, then any society, any life, it's our duty to take care of the children, because we are above 40, we will take care of it. But the children need a good role model. So, and I saw that she was obsessed, as well as she was possessed to some extent, if that's the nearest that I can say, because I don't really believe that there is a devil who takes over, etc. Because even the devil is a fallen angel. If you will read the Bible, the devil is who? And the devil is pretending to be a devil, so that there is a polarity. So there is a good and then there is a bad, and between the two of them, we are always in our life balancing out. But even the devil was created by the same creator. The creator who created all of energy, and energy is a vibration, and vibration goes from one extreme to another. That's the very inherent nature of it. But when we start saying this is good and this is bad, that's when it becomes difficult for us to live, because our inherent tendency is to avoid the bad, whatever, and the things can change. Right now, I was saying that lobsters are considered to be so luxurious, etc. And caviar was in China till 1980s was considered just to be like thrown away in the ships where they would be fishing, etc. And now it seems, lobsters are the top of it, and it used to be prison food. So things and perceptions are always changing. What is good, what is bad, these are always changing. So we have to see the core, that everything is alive. Everything is a reflection of the creator who created the universe. The universe has inherently polarity, and these polarities is the same energy going from one extreme to another. So when you make a judgment against one, the core that you are making a judgment is against the energy of life itself, which you yourself are. So if we have a judgment call at anything on the planet, it's a judgment at yourself. In our brain cell, which is the total composite of all the universe, there is a Hitler, as well as the huge sacrifice of the Jews. Everything is there. All the good things, all the bad things, they are all represented as thoughts in our head. But these thoughts are meaningless and energyless till the time we give them or assign a value of good and bad. If we just see them as thoughts that come and go, that's okay. But the moment it comes, oh, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, then it starts to having a weightage that our focus of energy has given, and then it can settle, it can, from our thoughts, it can come to our heart, can become a desire. Desire and unfulfilled is Buddha's law of humanity has got unending misery because our desires are unending, an infinity of desires leading to an infinity of wishes not achieved, not received, and those wishes, they become anger, and whatever we are angry at, that becomes fear, and our kidneys and our skin and our hair, etc. We get the problems from there. That's it. So a lot of our disease, some of it is going to be genetical. So if after 40 someone is complaining about certain things, the body is going to go down. Even after then 18-year-old is not going to be having the same flexibility that an 8-year-old has. So the body is going to be going out and is going to be losing in energy. And it's absolutely perfectly simple and perfectly viable and perfectly okay, because this physical energy that we are losing, with the right approach, it becomes spiritual power. Because we get the ability to look at our body and see that's going down. So why do you want to be identified with the losing side? Because it is going to go back to the planet Earth from where it came up. And the soul, which is the owner, which got this body on a loan, will hop across to something else, to a better adventure or some other adventure, or on this planet or on this universe. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So when the physical body is going down, we get our spiritual for different reasons. It's only through pain that we get our learning. I am not really against a universe in which all of us would party and have fun and next morning not have hangovers, but instead of like, oh man, I partied all night and I had so much amount of this fun and got drunk and these adventures happened, and then I woke up and then I was absolutely enlightened. It doesn't happen like that. Most of the time something traumatic happens and that triggers off. So those traumatic things are also, someone yesterday asked me a question about that on the YouTube day, probably some lady or even more than one who had experience of what she calls it enlightenment. And she was by her mother's grave and she fell down on and she hugged the mother earth, and suddenly she was there for 3.5 hours. And this is called Zazen. This feeling when you are completely dissolved and there is no disease and nothing. That nothingness is what the Zen Buddhists look for. And that is considered to be the end point of meditation. But that Zazen, in our lives, all of us who are listening are in the current stage of evolution when life is so difficult. There's so many complex things happening around. I'm not talking about that it's easy to click. Yes, but behind the curtains, it's becoming more and more. There is COVID, there is isolation, there are job losses. The world is going through so many, like everything is happening. So many strange things are happening, which I've never ever even seen in the politics, etc. Never ever seen. Like in the first time for humanity, those things are happening. And whatever is happening, if you can't change it, means you have to be able to accept it. Change it whenever you can, whatever you can. But so many changes are there that it is a complex time. And very rapid changes are happening, right? 8 months ago, who could have said that countries would be closing down their borders and tourism will be down and airports would be getting bankrupt and the airlines would be going down, and suddenly like all the world is getting excited about Tesla cars. Electric cars have been now around for 10 years, but for some reason the share of Tesla went up. So different things are happening. Not everything is logical. There are other cars like Tesla But suddenly Tesla is the thing. So the different perceptions and different things are happening very rapidly. And Tesla suddenly with n number of cars around, maybe some few thousand, suddenly outweighs Toyota, which has got millions of cars being sold. So different perceptions are there, very different things are happening, and this makes it for our mind very challenging. But the more challenging the world is, the more of these little mini traumas there are in the planet, or even big traumas for people who have lost more, the more it triggers enlightenment in us, especially when enlightenment is a part of us. And I will explain. In the days of past, do you think that Pythagore or other people had such a complex society? No, you were born in one city and you have that point of view which is being imparted to you, and most of the time to be alive, because a different point of view was not even tolerated. You go along with the point of view and whatever your social places. Nowadays it seems to be more socially mobile and things are going up and down, but you were connected to a place and you were probably locked onto that place. There are very few nomadic people. You won't have the money, you won't have the security, and if you're a nomad, you had to have had nothing to go around, because it would get stolen on the path. Most of the time, there are very few secure routes. Now, when we are living in those times, how many choices do you have? You don't. Minimum number of choices. What food to have. In France in the 19th century, omelette was a luxury of which the poor people dream. And now every day in the morning we have 2 eggs or 3 omelettes, we have like anything. So we have a lot of luxury, but we also have to make a lot of choices. So if you go to a restaurant, IHOP has got around 15 different choices of omelettes, like with spinach, this, meat lover, So we have got so much choices that our world in some ways is more complex, and because of that, our stress levels are more. In the past, there was not so many choices. You want something, an omelette, there's just 1 or 2 ways to make it. Now there are around 15 recipes, there are even more, but if you go to a restaurant, there are at least 10, 15 times the types of different omelettes that they do. So there's so many choices, but it's very root, it's the same, but the illusion of choices is there and the stress is there. So we are navigating much more complex waters nowadays. So when we are able to achieve peace within ourselves, it's 10 times more difficult, or if not 100 times more difficult than in the past, because our choices, our temptations, which are there to drive us away in terms of thoughts, etc. We could see different thoughts are different. There were not so many even thingies then. A book, you would go to a person and he would have 3 or 5 books, and now you have on the internet or YouTube millions of different points of views, etc. So a person really it is the same sort of thing that happens. Obfuscation happens, that there's so much amount of information that you don't know what is relevant, what is not. There are millions of types of meditation, etc. So the point is, in these complex times, it's more easier to be enlightened, but first you have to be aware that each one of us is already going through stages of enlightenment. So when I was told that the lady who hugged the earth, her mother died, she hugged the earth and then she fell into a state of nothingness, and now she considers that to be enlightened. Each one of us has that moment, but I'm going to help you to identify those moments, so then having something, we can build upon it. So when we have thoughts, the mind is just thoughts. So when we do not have these thoughts in our head, all thoughts are born out of desire for something, even at a subconscious, or something that our eyes fall on and we make a judgment. So if we don't make a judgment, we don't consider it to be good and bad. We see that it is just life and not a good or a bad thing. We just see it as life, and ourselves, we see the life of, then we don't really judge ourselves inherently. We love ourselves. No one is ready to give up this planet, this body so soon. So inherently, we love ourselves, and we are enlightened during the minutes, or rather microseconds, when we do not have a desire. When we do not have a desire, we don't have thoughts. Thoughts is our ego. I want this, I want that. The previous thoughts of my likes, dislikes, my memories, all these are thoughts. They are just pictures in our mind. When we get to a term called Zazen, we don't have any desires. And any time when we don't have any desires, we also do not have any activity. Because all our lives we are running after this, that, that's all our activity is also born out of a need to fulfill those desires. People jumping across from continent to continent, from this to this, people going up Himalayas and mountains, thinking that they will achieve something. No, the Himalayas is just a rock. When you climb up, you just see other rocks. But it's such a big thing, and people want to be known. We want to be leaving a legacy, because we are not enlightened when we are looking for something. But when we fall into Zazen is when we do not have desires. We do not have desires when we do not have likes, dislikes. We do not have likes, dislikes when we see that all good and bad are interconnected. Therefore, we cannot say this is good, this is bad. It's a different polarity of the same thing. That same thing is in you, is in Hitler, is in everything and everyone. So when we are living right now, anything that gives us a focus on our body, etc., the problem is all these teachings that create hierarchy. Even in our meditation, I am a guru, you are a student. No, that's just a different polarity. We are part and parcel of the same teaching, of the same energy of enlightenment flowing through us. So there is no hierarchy. It's just different game. I cannot be you, and you always will have something to teach me about being you. And I always will have something to share about being me. So everyone is a guru first. Recognize that in your own life. You are living the best version of wherever, whoever you are. And from tomorrow, after understanding that you do have inherent enlightenment in you, I want you to be reborn as fearless warriors to bring harmony and happiness to others. You achieve that, you have achieved your single purpose on this planet. So when we are breathing in and out, we breathe in, that's a biological thing, and everyone is doing it differently. But we start to see that by breathing in, we are inviting the blessings which surround us. We do not end in ourselves, well, this is my body and that's the end of it. You have to go to the big picture. This is my universe and everything and everyone on it, including the good and the bad, the devil and the God, are all connected as one presence of life in this, on this universe, in this creation. It is all one, different forms of all one. And that one is also me, but not when I'm saying my name is this, my form is this, not when I'm identifying with the things that I say are me, mine, and mine. My universe, my this, my body, my friends. Everyone and everything that you see and you don't see is you. Once more, the example of the sun. The rays have left the sun, but not really disconnected. And each and every characteristic of the sun, especially being the golden light, is in each and every ray And it's a quantity thing, right? But quantity is also a game of the mind. It's a game of the mind. It doesn't matter whether you have a little salt, that's enough for the soup. You know, there's a big bowl, but a little soup, a little salt is enough. Of course, salt has got the same characteristics, and that salt will make the bowl an ocean. You have to think like that. That you have to know that you are enlightened when you do not have desires, or even if you are madly fulfilling all your desires, you are in the rat race. There are moments between the thoughts that there is emptiness. There is a moment between even desires that there is emptiness. And during those times, you are fully enlightened. It doesn't matter if it's a microscopic second. It doesn't matter. You have that, and that's why on this planet, in 24 hours, 8 hours you are sleeping. 1/3 of the time you are sleeping. You are enlightened at that time. You don't have any more desires, etc. You can have dreams, etc. But you do not have desires. That's why you are relaxed. Then when you wake up, you can again identify with the body. Oh, my name is this, and this is my life story from the past, etc. And you can let that baggage be a part of you. But from tomorrow, whatever is in the past is just a story. This is my name. This is what has happened in the past. But from now on, I am mandated inside this body to do everything I can to make others happy. It can be with, if you have a partner, it can be with the case of whatever the partner wants. You make someone else happy. It can be a dog, it can be a child, it can be a brother, father, anyone who is in the periphery of your action. You make them happy unconditionally. Not expecting that, oh, I did this for you, now you do this, or I prayed for you, now you change your behavior, I want more respect, I want more this, etc. Because the moment we get on, I want more respect, I want more love from you, etc., we become needy. Needy people need things. The more needy you have, the more desires you have. The more desires you have, the more unenlightened about your enlightened self you are. So just start being cool by being the observer. Most of the people, when they want to eat, they are the hunger. When they want sex, they are the craving or they are the lust, etc. But you start being the observer. Oh, I have these emotions of lust, and it's okay, don't judge. I have these emotions of hungry, it's okay. And you start to disconnect your eternal enlightened self from the role that you are living on this planet in this body with this name. And then your past life, whatever has happened, is just a story. It doesn't matter what had happened. From this moment, I'm going to be helping as much. And I'm going to, if someone was hateful or didn't respect me or doesn't respect me, they are not seeing that me and you are the same life force. I'll have sympathy for you. I'll have empathy for those who have less, and I have sympathy for you because I have the spiritual grounding. And when you will have spiritual grounding, then you will really be cool. There are people who, even when one of the Sufis was being killed, he laughed. He was being put on the cross just like Christ. And this was 7th century or later. And he was laughing. He said, you guys came to kill me as per the king's directive. Too late. I already know that I'm not the body. You can't kill me. So you have to reach that level. Imagine the trauma, how traumatic it must be to be over out there, being told that you're going to be killed and all that. But all that brought about the enlightenment which he had been striving for. So he started laughing at his own death. That's the high idealistic point. If we can reach it, and every one of us can reach it. It is doable, it is reachable. Even in your thoughts, do it, and you will be able to do it. So, in order to be cool You have to identify with the observer inside. And then you have to understand that when you breathe in, you go into awareness breathing right now. Just closing eyes gently, imagining Om in the center of your forehead, and just feeling with every in-breath Om, with every out-breath Om. 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 And you become like an ocean, like a vibration of energy going up and down. Om. 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 With this breathing methodology, you become aware of your breathe, and you marry your breathing with the mantra of enlightenment. It can be Om, it can be Amin, it can be Allah, anything that invokes the higher self. God is that sun inside you, but is also everything and everyone seen and unseen around you. So you become one with the many. Oh, 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 oh. Now, you breathe in Om. Namo means not me, simply not me, but the higher self. And Shiva means the infinite nature of God. Shiva is the trinity of infinity. The Hindu pantheon has got three gods: the creator God and preserver God Vishnu, who created Brahma, and then Brahma is the creator of the universe. And even before them, there is a third mystical element. The same thing as in the Holy Ghost, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. The third one is completely mystical. So Shiva represents the mystical infinity inside everyone and everything. And he is blue because when demons were fighting the gods, and who is God? The good thoughts, which are less, and demons, who are many. In every culture, the story. So demons were fighting gods, and gods went to Vishnu, and Vishnu said, you have to churn the ocean, which is the subconscious in our modern language, the subconscious. So the story is they churned up the ocean to dredge up nectar of immortality. The gods and the demons had to do it together because not one side had enough power to do it. They got in together, they were churning the ocean, which symbolically for us means subconsciousness. And then came up immortality, but before that came up the poison known as halahal. And that even one drop of that spirit in the universe would have just annihilated, destroyed everything. So Shiva took it, and even he could not take it down. So Parvati, his wife, grabbed his throat so that it got stuck in the throat, and he went all blue. So Shiva represents the self-sacrificing nature of God. And that is what we invoke with Om Namo Shiva. Shiva is the God of whose dance, electron-like dance, creates the universe, the dance of universe, rather. And his dance also destroys and creates, destroys and creates. Brahma is the creator of the universe. Shiva is the dancing electron of energy. And Vishnu is the creator, but Shiva is the mystical element. So proton, neutron, and then electron. Think of it like this. Shiva, the mystical God, the sponsor of meditation. We focus on Om, breathe in. Namo, opening your heart. Shiva, you become one with it. Now, I want you to focus on whatever disease you are having. The diseases we are going to be having of three qualities. One, because body is going to go down. Second type of diseases that we can cure absolutely is the diseases of the mind. I don't like this, I want this, and then those diseases start manifesting as our kidney problems, hair problems, skin problems, heart problems, everything which is happening before of 40, if you're young and you're having all these issues, etc., it's some manifestation of some anger at something. Anger is always something. Your anger is some judgment call, some polarity. Something happened, and instead of saying, oh, thank you, this has happened in my life, you became angry. You didn't understand the full picture, that this is just one thing changing to another. And that anger became, that thought became an actual disease. So with age, there are going to be diseases, those called them genetic or like from nature. They're going to be diseases of the mind. And that there is a third set of diseases. And they are going to be called God's blessing, because they will make you evolved spiritual. They will give you a way to exchange the physical, the limited physical energy to spiritual energy. But whichever disease you want to cure, if it is the first two, you can. The one from the arising from the thoughts, you can take care of them. If it is got to do with age, you can slow it down even then. So you breathe in Om, Namo from your heart. You direct the energy to whichever part needs healing. So let's say your heart has got some issues because heart is having some anger or these. So Om, Namo. Then from your heart you explode golden light. Namo. Shiva, you dissolve. Shiva. Om. So you breathe out from the part that you want to be curing. Om, Namo in your heart. And Shiva, you breathe out from the heart, all golden light. Om, Namo, Shiva. Om, Namo, Shiva. So you breathe in and breathe out from the part that you want to heal. That's one exercise. The second exercise will be have gratitude for the disease, whatever, let's say, whatever the disease is. Say Om, Namo, see that disease as a physical entity and say to it with Shiva, go in your thoughts. So Shiva will be meaning go in peace back to where you came from. Let me be free of you is what the thoughts are with Om Namo Shiva to the disease that you have specifically, but you are saying goodbye with gratitude. And you see that your heart, for example, in this purpose, is smiling and letting go of whatever the disease was. And you're wishing the disease also happiness. Go, your job is done. You have made me spiritually evolved. You have enabled my spiritual energy. Now I can take care of myself. I do not need you. Om Namo. See the disease going away. Shiva. Om Namo. And very important to see the part which you are healing. Smiling at the newfound freedom. So the first part is Om Namo, and then you breathe out from the part or whichever. Two, you say goodbye to the disease. That's the second healing activity. The third is we are going to be doing, or you can open your eyes, we will be doing alternative breathing. So Om, pressing your thumb against the right nostril. Breathe in Om. You have to feel the Om because I'm just saying it for the benefit. Breathe in Om. Now focus on the point or the disease, whichever organ, let's say kidneys. Focus on your kidneys. Close and now gently, Namo, and gently breathe out from your nose, forcefully in small section. Instead of Shiva, and see that whatever your kidneys or whichever body part needs help is being drained of blackness and is filling up with golden energy. So you do, this is called alternative breathing, and after breathing in Om, you let go and breathe out in small sections. But during this time, you are fully focused inside on the kidneys, liver, whatever the disease is. you're letting, and you have to do this for at least whatever you have to do these exercises, whichever you want, for at least 10 to 20 minutes. And people have reported really good results when a person has been able to do these for 1 hour. You have to continually see either that you're letting go of and you can do mix and match also. But the alternative breathing is the most focused one, because then you are releasing the energy from within, and you will see that some blackness is leaving in slowly. And it may take at least 3 months. It depends upon how manifested that anger is, which has become this disease in your body. And again, even if it's old age, these Om Namo Shiva exercises combined with alternative breathing or just letting it Om Namo Shiva will enable and activate energies inside you at a level of deep subconscious. This is enlightenment, that the disease is not bad. Don't fight it so much. Like, do whatever the doctor says to make your body better, but do these exercises as a supplementary to them. Saying goodbye to the disease, breathing in and out through the body organ, sending golden light, and if seeing that the organ is happy and smiling at the end of it. So in this way, I want you to become first healers of the self. And then you can imagine Om over out here, you can imagine cross, you can imagine the spiral of infinity. With closed eyes, you feel Om. And when your biological breathing is replaced with divine inviting in yourself with Om, you're inviting through your nose the blessing, the energy of the universe inside your universe, which you call a body. Om is going in. Your heart becomes a temple or a church or a synagogue, doesn't matter. And now that golden light of your heart, let it go to your hands, to your palms, bring them over out here, and you can feel Om Namo. Your heart is open because there is no desire, no anger, nothing which blocks the heart from becoming the flower that is. It has gone to its pristine, inherent nature. Like a child, your heart will be after some time. Or you can do it right now. Oh, imagine your heart is like a flower, golden lotus open. And the energy from the flower is going to your hands. And you bring the hands. You feel the warmness. And you say, I am going to be an instrument in the hands of the universe to spread this energy of love flowing through my heart, flowing through me. And let that energy be accumulated in the hands. The intent has to be there, the words can be different. And you feel a golden ball over out here. Now you can direct this golden ball to your own heart, or you can send it to other people that you had any difference with, or anyone that you want to heal. But these are practices which need to be done for 20 minutes to 1 hour. And you will see within 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months, you will see changes. And because it works at a settled level, it's not like suddenly and immediately, but 100% sure, guarantee that your own enlightenment powers will give you two abilities, either or. Either the disease will go away or go down, and you will be able to manage it, or your ability to manage it will become better. And if during that time the doctor says, oh, do this or something, go through that situation, use your intuition to say yes and no, because the doctor is also a part of the healing universe. Through doctors, the universe is also saying, helping you, and angels are helping you. So use that. Don't, oh, I'm just going to be using the healing, this methodology, etc. So I don't need the doctor. No, everything is complementary, nothing, and inclusive. Nothing is excluding something else. So use these three techniques, and for sure, the least that will happen is that you will with your ability to see your heart laughing, you will be able to manage your life in harmony. And that is what enlightenment is all about. 1/3 of the time, when you're breathing in and out, is Om, and you're breathing out Om, or you're breathing Om, Namo, Shiva. In breathing, in between the breathings, is always an element of enlightenment. So just like we in a 24-hour day, 8 hours we are supposed to be sleeping to be enlightened. Even during the 16 hours we are there are going to be always there are moments when we are enlightened, when there is no breathing, between the breathing, in and out, moment of enlightenment. In between the thoughts for other things, moment of enlightenment. Now, when you now know that you have these enlightenment moments, and that's what helps us to get through the day, then you start building upon these microseconds to create a cocoon, a balloon that isolates you from anything which you think can go wrong, because you have to put the trust in the universe that everything is perfect, was perfect, and will be perfect. And everything that you can change, you try to change, but the universe is also always changing to give us the exact result that we need for our spiritual growth. Most of the time people are thinking, oh, if I had more money, if I had more health, if I had this, etc. And all those things are meaningless. The one thing that we need is harmony of the heart. And in your life, if you have helped anyone, whether cognizantly or unknowingly, you are all helping each other. Whether we know it, whether we don't know it, but at a deep level we do know. That's why we love ourselves. We are all different cogs of the same great machine that we can't envision, because we are ourselves. It's just like the heart. We are the heart cells, and we are taking, oh, that is the stomach, and that is doing bad things to food, etc. But there is a reason why the stomach is like that. There is a reason why it has that output, etc. The whole big picture is perfect. To get in alignment with that, you breathe in and out with Om Namo Shiva. Om Namo Shiva. And you start sending that golden, because in your heart, when you're aligning yourself with the universe, you see that everything is a vibration of energy. Everything is going from one end to another. Everything good is becoming bad. Devil was an angel. Angel became a devil. And the angel can also go back to becoming a devil. Who knows? Like things can, and devil can become an angel. Like in comparison, everything is by comparison. If we compare temperature by, oh, if this is colder than your body, but your body also can change. Your body's likes and dislikes can change. So everything is changing. But you will focus on Om Namo Shivaya, the infinity inside you and everything and everyone that is not changing. So when you see another human being, instead of the human being, you see the infinity that is active inside you, inside the other person also. Then whatever they're doing, you be aware, you be pragmatic, you take care of yourself, but you're not like absolutely like in a protective shell. You do whatever you to take care of yourself, but whatever happens, you have full gratitude to God for being a participant in this huge, amazing, magical universe that no one understands. So, Om Namo Shiva. And slowly as you do Om Namo Shiva, let's do 7 times. Om Namo Shiva. Breathing in and breathing out from the heart, radiating love and gratitude to the Creator and to everyone on the planet, so that you avoid this body and its body identification, which creates division. This is my body, that is. You see everyone having the same body. Om Namo Shiva. Everyone is a part of you, and you are a part of it. Om Namo Shiva. Om Namo Shiva. Now you will feel what the Kabbalah says, Shekinah. With Om from the crown of your head, feel a very small trickle of pure blessings flowing in through the crown of the head. Oh, Namo going to your heart, and Shiva again spreading it to everyone like Shiva has asked to. Self-sacrificing yourself for others. Om Namo Shiva. including to your diseases. Say goodbye and bless everything and everyone. Om Namo Shiva. Om Namo Shiva. Om Namo Shiva. May you be full of harmony, and from tomorrow, see yourself as reborn with happy, smiling hearts, spreading love and light and laughter, and not be bound by the actions and identification with this body and your me. Think beyond, okay? So take care, and if you have any questions, you can get in touch with me. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.